Hey, good morning, my Biology 105 students. This is your instructor, Karen Klein, and I am lucky enough to have you as my students for Summer 2 for Contemporary Biology. This is a video that is intended to help you navigate the course because I know all instructors set up their courses somewhat differently. I will try to keep this as succinct as possible as far as how to go about doing this. So what you are looking at right now might be a little different than what you're seeing, only because this is the instructor's view. Student view might be slightly different. You might be missing some of the things along the left-hand side. This is the course home on the Blackboard page, and we'll go ahead and get started. As far as just the odds and ends of the course, your textbook, your grading, schedule, etc., that is found here in the Textbook Grading and Schedule tab. Here is your full syllabus. Here is your textbook information. You can get this at the bookstore, or you could go to like an Amazon website to look for it. For some reason, if you cannot afford this book, please email me. The information is here, and I can advise you on a free alternative to purchasing the textbook. The other part to this is that the bookstore carries a lab manual for those who take this course on campus. You do not need a lab manual for the online version of this course. I will let you scroll through the rest of this if you want to see the class schedule, as well as the grading, etc., and other notes from a Blackboard point of view. I'm not going to go through that one by one. But let's go ahead and let's look at where your assignments are. Here is where they are housed. Along the left-hand side, you should have a tab that says Weekly Assignments. This is a 5-week course, and I'll probably say this a few times, but it is actually a 5-week course with 15 weeks worth of material. So there is a lot in this 5 weeks, and I want to impress upon you that yes, it is quite chunky. There's a lot of work here. And so I do recommend that you pace yourself and that you stay on top of the work, since there is a lot. But hey, yeah, I know you can do it. Just kind of put your nose to the grindstone, or whatever aphorism you want to use, and I'm sure that you will all see this to the end. Okay, so how the course is organized is in these weekly folders: week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, with the general content listed and the chapters in the folders. What you need to do is click on that week's folder, and it will tell you what is due the following Sunday. The weeks run from Monday to Sunday, with everything being due that Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So for instance, the first week runs from Monday, July 12th to Sunday, July 18th. Everything is due for that week on Sunday, July 18th at 11:59 p.m. Now, that being said, I'm really loose with due dates for the 5-week summer session. If you get a little bit behind, you don't get it submitted. Now, Gradeboard will default that grade to a 0 because it's overdue, but just turn it in anyway, because I have yet in my 20 years of teaching to take points off any assignment solely based on the fact that it is late. Once you turn that in, I will change that to whatever points you earn based on the work itself, and I won't ding you for being late. So please keep that in mind. So back to the way each week is organized. You'll see assignments and responsibilities for the week that list out the things that are due. You'll see the learning objectives. Week 1 just has an introduce yourself, just a fun little discussion board. I don't do discussion boards beyond week 1. I know students don't care for them, and sometimes they can get somewhat redundant, kind of busy work in my opinion. But for this first week, we at least want to get to know you. All of us want to get to know each other since we are considered a class. And I'll go through these more specifically as we get, I'll go back to them. Each week you have some chapter questions that you are to complete. Keep your eye on these chapter questions. This is how you study for your quizzes each week. Your quizzes are based on your chapter questions. You have a folder with lab assignments. Generally, there are 2, sometimes 3 in a week. And each week has a quiz that you are to take, and we'll get to that in a bit in more detail as well. And then each week has PowerPoints, but they're not my PowerPoints. It's from the textbook company. They may or may not help out, but if you want to look through them, you can, beyond reading the material in your book. And what I have here too is if you have any questions that are just kind of open questions, nothing that's, if you have something that's very private, you can email me. But sometimes if you ask a question, many other students might have the same. If there are some discrepancies in some of the answers that are given or the material, you'll want to click here and then ask your question, like create a thread, ask the question, and then I can get back to you, and then everyone can see what the answer might be. So let's get back to some more of the specifics in each week's folder. As far as your questions, your chapter questions, your homework questions, I haven't written here on how to do this, but just to go through it. It's a homework assignment. You can use whatever resources you want to answer these questions, but in Blackboard, I have it set up as a test. It's not a test. This is not your weekly quiz or test, but rather it is a weekly homework assignment with questions that cover concepts in this week's content. You can use any resources you wish. And so what you do is you click on the link. And I know it says that you have a test. This is not a test. Again, this is your homework assignment. And you can do it in more than one sitting. You can take as much time as you want to work on it. You can save it and go back if you can't get it done in one sitting. And the way you get started is you just press continue, and you'll see that the questions are here. Homework questions are generally essay in format or short answer. Question number 1, what are key characteristics and functions shared by all groups of living organisms? And you just click here in this box and you type in your answer. Here's question 2. Again, read the question, click in the box, type the answer. And once each answer is done, you want to press Save Answer to save it for later. Save all answers. You can do that if you want to, but when you're completely done and you're ready to submit it, you have to go back to it, like maybe you save it and you come back to it the next day. Press Save and Submit, and then that directs it to the grade center, and then I can grade that. So it might be a little different than what you're used to as far as your chapter questions. Now, as far as your labs, they're in that folder. I just clicked on it. Now, for your labs themselves, what you want to do for the labs, you have 2 for week 1. There's a scientific method and there's a metric system, is you'll want to click on the lab and then open it up. I'm really hoping this shows up on, it might not, sometimes the program I'm using, it might not show that the document is opening up. It might just be on the original screen, long story. But read through the document and you put your answers, if you are looking at this, and you can see that, you put your answers right in the document itself. Okay, so you just type right in the document itself, and then once you're done with that, you've saved it to your hard drive, you'll want to upload it to this link, the lab link. So what you do is you browse your local files and you upload it, and then you press submit, and it submits to the grade center. I ask that you convert your files to PDFs or MS Words. I can't read, my computer won't read, not even my one at school won't read like dot pages. oh, there's a few others. Like usually Mac or Apple products, it won't open or won't read those. So you do have to convert those to that. I'm going to go back. So that's how you do your labs. And then each week is a quiz. Now I don't have this actually set up yet for you, but for your quizzes, it's just like when you did your homework assignment, it's like set up as a test, of course. Except with your quizzes, they are time proctored in that, well, first of all, most of them, it's a multiple choice format. I'll write that in the narrative. I haven't done that yet. See, it says it's actually hidden from you. And I'll put the instructions here. As far as your quizzes are concerned, they are timed, so and very tightly timed, because it's not meant for you to look up the answers. It's meant for you to know the answers. So, for instance, if there's 25 questions, you'll only have like 15 minutes to do it. You'll have 30 seconds for each question. And that prevents students from, again, and I hate to treat everyone like if they're going to cheat, but you kind of have to just put these guidelines in place to prevent that from happening. You will, that will be a timed thing. And I'll write the instructions here. So that is how this is set up. And again, it's the same thing for week 2. The chapters that you read. Here's the learning objectives, your questions for comprehension, your weekly homework, your lab assignments for the week, that week's quiz. And that's about it. It's pretty straightforward. But just if you have any questions at any time, please email me and ask, let me know. It's a lot of material in a short period of time, and some of it might be new, some of it might be challenging, but you do have to keep in touch with me. I'm around all summer. I'm available to give you a hand, to give you help. We do have a tutoring center too. If for some reason you just really need to go into campus and talk to the tutors there, they can give you a hand as well. Okay, that's it. And I hope we have a great semester. I'm sure we'll have a great semester. And I hope that you're all well and you're all happy. And to infinity and beyond, right? All right, take care, guys. Bye.